Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? This is episode number 52 of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching. Heading to an appointment here in Point Pleasant from my home here in Brick, New Jersey. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Today's big episode is about, do you need to stand out? Do you need to stand out if you have your own company, if you have your own solo entrepreneurship? Do you need to stand out if you're a sales rep for a company? Do you stand out if you're technically the head of a department or want to be the head of a department? The answer is definitely yes. So an example of standing out, we'll just stick to, for right now, the beginning of this conversation, is our marketing. Your marketing needs to be a little bit different. What you do is probably not so much different. There's a lot of everything out there. If you have something that's kind of unique, it's a little bit different, then it's a little bit, that's definitely an asset you can use in your business that makes you unique to what you do, but it's rare. It's not very common to be able to go out there and do something that is completely unique to you. So you have to put your own spin on it. You know, people are getting thousands of marketing messages every single day, and to try and discern where you are in that equation versus somebody else, it can be difficult and it can be challenging at times, but you need to make sure you can get it and master it the best you possibly can. Is worth standing out. Just bear with me here, guys. Just getting into another lane. When you stand out, when you do something that makes people look at you like you're remarkable, there's something that is very, very unique about what you do, very, very unique about what you offer, then you're standing out. An example of this is sending out 3D mail as an example. I use a company called 3D Mail. They're based out of, I think, Washington State. Travis Lee is the gentleman I think that runs it. I happen to really like him. He has particular products that we can buy and purchase together with a sales letter or a piece of information that we send out to customers to try and attract attention to our company, and what we can use that he happens to sell that goes in conjunction with the message we're trying to get out. Very, very important. It makes us stand out. We're not only mailing a piece of information that really describes what we do and the benefit we can bring and the value we can bring to our clients, the people referring us, but we have something that is really just stands out. It just sticks right out. When you mail this stuff to somebody, they're going to see it. It's not like a typical postcard or a typical letter. It's not like any of those things. You have the ability to really clear out the rest of the crowd and make it about you. And that's key. When it comes to your marketing, you need something that is going to be unique to you. Something that's going to be unique that you're delivering to your customers that's going to stand out. I'll tell you a quick story. I was probably a year into marketing our restoration service in New York City, and there was a lot of really big companies that really wanted to try and attract and get the opportunity there. We know that if they have a larger company, the likelihood of them being able to refer us was much higher because they had a lot of technicians in the field. So after a while, one particular company, the largest in fact on Staten Island, calls my partner at the time and said, hey, I'd like to have a meeting with you guys. I get all this mail and I actually feel kind of bad because this guy comes to my office all the time. This guy mails this stuff to me on a consistent basis. It's pretty unique and it's actually kind of incredible, and I want to meet the people behind it. Now, he wanted to meet with us. He wasn't exactly interested in giving us work, which kind of was a downer, but what are you going to do? He has been influential in getting us work with other people, which has been huge. So he's been a tremendous benefit no matter what. But he wanted to meet with us to discuss our marketing. He couldn't believe it, and he had every single piece that we sent him, every single unique piece. Now, this is a very savvy gentleman. This is a gentleman running a probably $20 to $50 million a year company, a very, very successful company, and wanted to know how and why we did what we did. What was unique about it that made it stand out on the pile of mail that came to him that he decided to keep it. And he said in all the years he's been doing it, which is 30 plus years, the first time he ever decided to meet with somebody to find out what they were all about. He's never stopped to have a meeting with us. Never stopped to have a meeting with anybody. So the marketing stood out enough with combination of what was written on the paper, the message on the paper, and the unique item that we're able to sell to, or send, I should say, to the client, to the potential client, in a 3D mail format. I mean, it worked, and he scheduled a meeting with us. We didn't call him to schedule a meeting. He actually called us, which is even better because that's magnetic style of marketing. So you need to make sure what you're doing grabs somebody's attention. Whether or not you do business with them, at least command the effect that you're going to be seen as magnetic toward them. That you're going to be seen as a person that needs to be drawn to from your clients, from potential clients, from your potential opportunities, your prospects if you're a sales rep. You need to be magnetic. But your marketing and your life needs to stand out. If you're having morning meetings and you're the general manager of a company, and you every day I used to have a 10-minute morning meeting, 5 days a week, similar to this. Mostly about review of the day. Not a big session, not by any means, just a review of the day, and to go over and discuss the opportunities that we run into and what we're going to do that's specific about today. What's on the board today? What are we trying to achieve that was on the board today? All those variables. So I had to stand out in my meetings. I had to make sure that when I met with my technicians, I met with my managers, I met with my office manager, whatever it was in our regular morning meeting, there was something that was unique and stuck out about it. What do you do that sticks out to keep those meetings fresh? I had a colleague of mine, Whitney, thank you for the compliment, by the way, that said, I don't know how you come up with new material every single day and you keep it fresh and you keep it a new perspective on it every single day you're doing this. I had to think about that, but it's planned out. I mean, whatever I'm going to discuss has notes. I review the notes. Sometimes I'm reading pieces from the notes. Sometimes I'm not. Depends on how much time I get to study on that particular subject. My point is, you got to keep it fresh. You got to keep it unique. You got to make sure you stand out. Make sure you're different from the fold. Make sure whatever you do is not going to be what everybody else is doing. People tend to go to see what the competition's doing and say, I'll just be cheaper. Or I'll be like that, but I'll tweak it a little bit. Your competition stuff may or may not be working. I'm going to tell you from my experience, I don't do anything my competition does. I mean, other than we try to offer great customer service and we're both on the same page with that, the world is a better place. So we try to have that in common. But generally, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I'm not trying to be like them. I'm trying to do almost the polar opposite when it comes to attracting the customer, because whatever they're doing may work for them, but I'm not worried about being in conjunction with them and marketing in their field and marketing like they are doing and drawing their customers or potential customers. I want to draw my own customers. I want to draw my own opportunities. And for that, my friend, you need to stand out. You need to be unique. You need to have offerings to your employees, to your prospects, to your people that are different and unique to what you do. So guys, just keep that in mind. This is episode number 52 of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching. What do you do to stand out? You need to stand out in your marketing. You need to stand out with your employees. You need to stand out with your prospects. What do you do that makes you stand out? Today, when you have just a couple minutes of time, write down 10 items that make you stand out to one of those three categories. Again, whether it's your techs, your employees, your associates. What do you stand out to when it comes to your sales prospects? And how do you stand out when it comes to your customers and clients? What makes you unique to what you do? What makes the offering you put out there unique? What makes you different? And what makes you stand out? Guys, thanks so much for joining me this morning for episode number 52 of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching from the Road. I will talk to you later on today with a brand new episode as well, where we're going to go over a very, very sincere subject that keeps coming up, and I talked about it briefly the other day, and it's going to be a really good episode. I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.